It's Brian from Team Hoy, and this time I have a Dark World deck profile, and I'll just get right into it. First we have 3 Grapha. This is released pretty new and it changed the way people play Dark Worlds. It is the boss monster of the deck. The deck, I admit, is a little reliant on Grapha. Second game, they drop a Prohibition and it's pretty hard to get over, considering Grapha is the only thing they can destroy, but then again we side in a lot of back row destruction. But he's very disposable. No matter how you destroy him, he's going to come back, no matter one way or another. And if you discard him, he pops a card. So no matter how you get rid of this guy, he'll gain you some pluses. We have 3 Snows. He's she or he. You can bounce him and get back your Grapha, or if it's discarded, you can search for Grapha. And this adds a lot of consistency to the deck, which Dark Worlds already struggle with. So this is a really good addition. Also, it goes up to 2,000 with gates for a DDV. And you have 3 Brows, which is probably one of the best cards in the deck too, because it turns Dark World dealings into the Destiny draw, and it makes gates like a pot of greed every single turn. And you can bounce him for Grapha. 1 base, just one, just so you can have another monster to bounce for Grapha with. Use him with gates to get 2 Graphas. You know, you can loop with him. You can spam the field with this guy, and that's 10 Dark Worlds. Spirit Reaper and Sangan. This is supposed to be 2 tour guides, which I do not have so far. I'll be getting them soon. The tins just came out. They'll be going for pretty cheap, and I'll pick 2 of those up. But for now, it's Spirit Reaper and Sangan. And then I have a Malefic to protect gates, and sometimes with inconsistencies of Dark World, you just want another monster out there, and bam, there we go, 2,500. You can also use them with EEV, and those are the monsters. There is only 13 because it is a turbo build. You only need 13 before you're gonna burn through half your deck. This deck is very spell heavy, and it starts with 3 Dark World dealings. Again, you need to draw into your deck. The problem I have with this card is your opponent gets, you know, a free deck thinning for them too, and you only get a free deck thin if you discard something like a Brow, or you get advantage only if you discard a Dark World monster. So don't be so surprised if your opponent suddenly has a Dark Hole or that BLS or something. Also, with the draw engine is 3 Drag Down to the Graves. This is really good because it lets you look into your opponent's hand, and you just rip them apart. You just take their whole hand apart. You know, they have those 3 cards they need. Now they only have 2. Also, discard a Brow, you get advantage. The only problem I have with this card is you have to set up for it. You can't just use it. And sometimes your opponent can just heavy all your traps that you set. 3 Upstart Goblins. I just have this 37 card deck, self-explanatory. Well, I mean, 1 Grapha with a gate slap will take down 3k anyways. And 3 gates. This has added a lot of consistency to Dark Worlds. Every turn you can just banish, banish, discard, draw, banish, discard, draw, and this can get you a lot of pluses. With the Brow, it's like a pot of greed every single turn. And with Grapha at 3,000, it makes him incredibly hard to get over. And for the single spells, a card destruction, opening up with a ton of monsters and a card destruction almost guarantees you game. It's a very fast deck. You know, you burn through cards really fast. And card destruction also ruins your opponent's hand that they've been saving and setting up the whole time. Foolish Burial, it doesn't matter if it's a -1. I mean, you dump Grapha to the grave, you're going to get him back like 1,000 times anyway. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, self-explanatory, they're staples. And with the speed of this deck, you're going to draw into them anyways. And that's it for the spells. For traps, we run 3 Reckless Greed because it's only good at 3. Again, since it's a turbo build, because all of the top decks are currently turbo builds, Reckless Greed allows you to draw into your deck extremely fast. If you flip off 3, you get to draw 6 cards for the price of skipping only 2 draw phases. It's really good. 2 Mind Crushers. This works wonders with Deck Devi, Eradicator, Drag, stuff like that, because you can just look into their hand, see a card you don't like, discard it, flip Mind Crush, and discard another card. Also, you don't even need those cards. If they drop a Sangan, if they drop an Earth, you know they're going to search a Venus, so Mind Crush it out of their hands, or Mind Crush the Hyperion or something you see. 2 Torrentials. The good thing about Dark World is we get to run this card because we don't care where Grapha goes, because Grapha will always come back next turn and the turn after that and the turn after that. And we can, even if they drop a monster that's slightly problematic and you have a Grapha on the field, just pop the Torrential. You get rid of a couple of their monsters for just a Grapha, which you'll get back next turn anyway. And I run one deck Devi, Eradicator, and one deck Devi. I run one of each because game 1 I don't know who I'm playing, and either of these could be good. Also, you can protect your Grapha this way. You know, they have a back row set, and you know they have a lot of back row cards. You attack with Grapha, you have the set. You attack with Grapha, it's a deep prison, you just flip this, tribute your Grapha, and now he's safe, and he's not removed. Or even if you just want to like tribute a Stardust or something, or a pumped up Snow. Same thing with Eradicator, it's just really good. It gets rid of any traps or any spells. That's like crippling a third of their deck, just for Grapha you'll get back next turn. So I think Eevee is actually really good. And the last one is Solemn Judgment. It's just here because sometimes, you know, you done all you can do, and sometimes you still can't get over it. Solemn gets over everything, and that's why I run it. And that's it for the main deck. 40 cards, pretty standard. I will get those tour guides. For extra, again, being pretty Grapha reliant means you don't really need that many cards in the extra deck, but just to have something, I run a Leviathan, Tempo, 2 Zen Mains. The Zen Mains is probably what you're going to be using every single game because you have 2 tour guides, Zen Mains and then Zen Mains, just to stall out and just destroy more cards than Grapha is destroying. Same thing, like, just even if they side in things, Zen Mains will take care of it for you. Acid Golem, Utopia, rank 4. Sometimes you'll, you know, exceed a Snow and a Beige or something, I don't know, but it's just here. Dark World don't really need extra deck that much. The side for Dark World is very important because game 1, you'll probably take it. I mean, Dark Worlds are extremely fast. You'll be burning through your deck while they're just losing advantage, like, every single turn. So, but the moment it hits second game, you're going to be faced with Macrocosmos, Dimensional Fissure, all that crap, Prohibition even, that just completely ruins your deck, making it like tier 10. But so we have to side in 3 MST and 2 Dust Tornado. Some people even do 3 Dust Tornado because that's how bad the side against Dark Worlds is, especially with Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, you know, all that stuff, Prohibition, a lot of continuous traps to mess up Dark Worlds. And 2 Dark World Lightning, sometimes you just want to switch it up. I would side in Dark Smog too, but I don't have it. But yeah, Dark World Lightning takes down face downs that could possibly harm you. An Eradicator, sometimes they just don't run those 1500 or less monsters that DDV can hit, and so you just draw into another Eradicator, take out a spell, take out all traps, and you just shut down a third of the deck for 3 whole turns, which is probably enough to attack for game. A Spirit Reaper and another Spirit Reaper, so 2 Spirit Reapers. One is I'm using as a tour guide. You know, game 2, I just slow down the game. You know, sometimes they'll just attack into a Reaper, and even if you have a Grapha, you can just attack their monster, go with Reaper, and attack their, you know, and discard a card. More messing with the hand like Mind Crush and Drag. So that's just for game 2 and 3. And I side in 2 Imperial Iron Wall. This is a really good card, I think, for Dark Worlds. It takes care of macro, like when you know you play a Sam deck or a Dino Rabbit deck or something, they're going to side in Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure. Also, they both actually use cards like Bottomless Trap Hole, Dimensional Fissure. When you have Imperial Iron Wall on the field, they can't use it. They can't even activate those. And you don't run D-Fissures or Bottomless in this deck, so this doesn't harm you whatsoever, but it takes out a lot of their sides, and it takes out, hey, 4 of their like 4 of their best traps while you're at it. Like, it's a good card. And that is all. I mean, you could side in some other stuff, but those are the cards I just had around that I thought would be pretty good for Dark World. Same with the extra deck. There could be more that you need in freak occasions, but hey, Grapha will take care of it for you. You can just sit on top of Grapha. And I guess that's all I have to say. So, Brian from Team Hoygoy signing out.